How satisfied are you with that?
Look, like you said, look, we were disappointed a little bit with the early part of the game, but you know they're a good side. They're second in the league for a reason. So, but it was important. What we needed to focus on as ourselves, and we're a little bit, just slow in the way we probably played the game. We wanted to up the tempo and up the speed of the game a little bit more than we did. So there's areas to improve in there, but equally there's a lot of good stuff in the second half. The guys worked really hard and fought hard for those points and relentlessly kept going after it, which was a pleasing sign.
So probably your best sort of finishing display for quite a long time. In different ways.
Yeah, I mean, the mentality of it all it's tough to do it every single week. But it was good to see the guys in a good, headspace. Particularly obviously in the sort of last 50 minutes of the game, we were in a mood to work, and we worked hard. It didn't feel like that scoreline really. It felt way more competitive than that, and we maybe had a couple of bounces of the ball that went our way. So look, we're pleased with the win. It gets us 5 points in the table and move on to next week.
Must be good as an attack coach though to rack in 8 tries. That must make you feel pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's not really an attack. It's the whole combination. It's looking at our defence was hugely important to getting those scores today. There were a couple that came straight off it. So it's the whole picture. It's the line out. It's the set piece. It's the attack. It's also the D as well. It all comes, and it's the kick battle. Coaches are working really hard. Rob Hunter with the forwards, Julian on the defence, and Hayden Thomas as well does a fantastic job working our kick chase, and that was a huge area for us today.
So I was going to say, Ian Whitman his 150th appearance today, and putting a couple of great tackles and set up some tries as well. What does he bring to the side? Because quite often he doesn't necessarily, I don't think, get the credit that a lot of people deserve. But today he kind of showed what he does, I think.
No, he's probably underrated. He's hugely rated though within these 4 walls, so to speak. Well, look, we know exactly what he brings. He brings a work ethic every single day. He brings an intensity every single day. He's one of the last guys to leave his recovery. He understands what being a pro is, and he's a great example for the younger players. So look, he's been a massive part of the success of this club over the last few years, and he doesn't look like stopping.
What sort of a marker does this send to the rest of the Premiership when you take out the side that going into this round of games was second and you put more than 50 points on it?
Well, it's different times of the year can throw up different occasions, different lineups, different mentalities. It wasn't long ago we got beat at home here against Sale, so who are obviously another very good side. So on that day, there's 11 sides that can roll you over. We know that. We're really aware of that. So it puts all it does is it gets us the points here and now. The psychology and the intensity of games in the future will change week to week, and they'll roll week to week. We just want to make sure we look after ourselves and get ourselves in the right frame of mind to play rugby.
A lot of those tries came from open play. What do you say to the critics that say you can only do pick and go tries?
Well, yeah, you've got to do a bit of work to get to the 5 metre anyway. Look, it's just an area of scoring from. If we get there, if we get there without it, then great. And the aim is not to get into the 5 and stop. It's obviously to score tries. And look, sometimes they come, sometimes they don't, and sometimes certain people score tries and certain people don't. It's not about that. It's about the collective. It's about the collective effort and making sure we're working in the right direction. And I think whatever we've got a tactic in there, but equally we've got tactics elsewhere on the field. And if they open up for opportunities and we take them, then fantastic.
How many metres do you reckon by this evening Ben Moon would have won for that try?
I don't know. Even after 5 seconds, when I look back at it, it looked shorter than it was. So, look, again, just a nice read from Joe, right, to hit the lead there, and Mooney, as I say, he's athletic enough, and he wanted scoring, and to be fair to him, he had the mentality to get over the line.
It was pretty good to go for the try at the end of the first half rather than kicking the easy 3 points.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy win, so it wasn't necessarily an easy one. We probably missed an easier one, so it was just a feeling that probably there was a bit of fatigue setting in. You know, although I didn't think we'd worked them as hard as we'd have liked. So, but we looked like we were on top and aggressive, and playing that, you know, that making the aggressive move is what we're about, and we did that, and backed it up with the score.
Hendrickson's had to be quite patient. You know, he's been around a little while, but I think he's now in a position where he can come through and challenge.
Yeah, look, Tom's a fantastic guy. You know, he trains well every single day. He's a great and integral part of the squad. You know, he's got a great attitude. He gets on with his work. Hugely popular amongst the boys, and as I say, we've got no doubts when there's opportunity there for him. The tough thing is he's got good competition in that area. So, look, really pleased for him. He came in, he knuckled down, as I say, got a couple of scores, and you know, he's very capable of playing at this level. We know that.
What about Quins next week?
The massive game. You know, again, it sort of rolls on. They're going to be hungry after yesterday, and we've got to make sure. We're on a short turnaround, but equally that can be beneficial to us. So we've got to make sure we're in the right frame of mind, roll our sleeves up. There's another 4 or 5 points up for grabs. We've got to make sure we've got an appetite to go after them, and that's, you know, that's the secret for us going forward. We've got to make sure we stay hungry in all games, and we don't want to take our foot off the pedal and say there's plenty to improve from today, but we'll do that Tuesday morning, and we'll get on with it.